Oh, wait, she does.
I count. I think it counts. It counts.
The little quiet whisper.
Yeah.
It's your girl Emily Curl back here in our iHeartRadio studios in New York City, hanging out with one of our faves. Hardy is in town. Can we show some love for Hardy backstage? So nice to see you again.
Good to see you too.
This is a really, really big time in your life, so we feel excited to have you. You have a new album coming out. Since last time I've seen you, have a new addition in the fam.
Yeah.
You just celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I'm still kind of hungover, I think. Maybe it's been like 10 days and I'm still feeling it.
Listen, as you should, as a good birthday does. And then you're also playing MSG tomorrow.
Yeah.
A big deal.
Yeah.
So lots happening. Let's start with new music.
Okay.
New album, Country Country, is coming out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this project, what this project means to you.
You know, it's been a long time in the making. I actually started writing a lot of this before my last record, which was a rock record, Quit. I had a handful of songs written for what I now know as Country Country before Quit even came out. And what I just say that to mean that it's been like a long time coming, and I feel like I'm constantly trying to figure out myself and what I want to say as an artist and how, you know, who I want to be, or what, I don't know. And I feel like a lot of it I'm also like forever changing. And so this is just my, you know, my country era, I guess. You know, not that I ever left, but I just,
Right, yeah.
This is something I feel like I have not, if you look at like the 4 records that I've put out, or the 3, A Rock was a very like emo sort of, very like leaning into the rock world country thing, and then The Mockingbird and the Crow was very much like its own thing, and then there was Quit. So I feel like I haven't just had one like big record that was like, obviously like I'm a country boy and I grew up writing country music. Here it is, and so here we are.
That's what I was curious about, because yeah, this is so much more country rooted than your past stuff.
Yeah.
But I figured, or I didn't realize that you wrote this before your last rock album.
A lot of it, not all
okay.
of it, but we cut like probably 4 or 5, 6 songs in the same sessions as Quit, just like,
wow.
because if I didn't have enough, like, you know, while we're cutting for Quit, like if I didn't have enough songs to fill up the session, I would just pull out like a country song that I've written, and at the end of the day, I
So
was
that's
like, let's just cut
interesting.
this
So you're like
instead.
simultaneously working on this project. So when did
Yeah.
it start becoming like a more full body project where you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to release this as a country album?
Probably, I don't know, a year and a half ago maybe. It's been a long time. Like I definitely, after Quit, and after Quit, I very much, you know, let it sort of do its thing, and I immediately became focused on like, let's start writing country music, and let's focus on a country record, and so I kind of had already had the songs written, but yeah, I'd say maybe a year ago is when I was like, let's make this the thing, you know.
I feel like we get to know you even more on this album.
I guess.
Yeah, like I really do, and I feel like we get to hear like your Mississippi roots off of this record. And I want to go through a few of the songs because I feel lucky I got to listen to the album early, and it is so good.
Thank you.
And I feel like it has that little like Hardy magic on it mixed with the country, and you still have a little bit of that rock, you know, little of those like elements in there. So let's start with Country and Me, which to me just felt like that's down to your roots.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit how growing up shaped the way that you write and create these songs, and how you kind of go back to that era.
I mean, it's everything. I owe everything to my hometown, you know, and how I grew up, and the way that my parents raised me and my grandfather raised me, and you know, for a lot of this record, I'm a big deer hunter, and I love to fish, and I spend time outside as much as I can. And when I go home, when I go back to Mississippi, that's like a huge priority for me. That's kind of my palate cleanser, I guess, or like my reset. So for a lot of this record, Country and Me included, just that's where I go. I go kind of back to our little, it's like I call it a triple wide trailer, but it's like the deer camp, and I'm so proud of that, and I spent so much time there growing up, and I'm so fond of it, and it's very much like it's embedded in my DNA. That's who I am, and yeah, a lot of those songs, you know, I know there's a common theme with like Country Me is very similar to like Gun to My Head. Anyway, we won't get into that, but
yeah, no, because I had a few that I listed out, so I was curious your thoughts
well,
about
I go to the
parallels that you
same
found.
place, like I'm in the same, you know, because obviously we live in Nashville, and I have a beautiful family now, and so we're neighborhood people these days, but you know, when I go there, that's where I go. Is like our deer camp, like our hunting area, and like we call it our camp house. I can't pull my sleeve up because I'm sweating too much, but I have a big tattoo of it up here, and it's like a whole thing. I'll get it up before the end of the interview. But yeah. So that's kind of the headspace or the place that I lived in a lot for writing this record.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's where you wrote a lot of these songs, is what you're saying? Is
Not physically, but just like that's kind of where I went.
Headbase.
Yeah, totally.
Was there like a moment or a lyric on this record that really surprised you with how it turned out? Something that was an idea that sort of became this larger thing?
I would say Bottomland.
Okay.
Yeah, that I had that idea on my phone for 5 years probably. Maybe not that long, but a long time, 2 or 3 years, which is a long time for just, a song idea to live in your phone. And I kind of, it's funny, when we were writing Country and Me, before we started writing that song, I threw out Bury Me in Bottomland. And for whatever reason, doesn't matter, but that idea didn't stick that day, but we kind of did something similar to that, and we threw that line, because there's a line about that in the chorus.
Yeah.
And but my stubborn self was like, well, I'm still going to keep this Bottomland idea and try to write it again. But I never saw it turning into this like ethereal church gospel-y kind of thing. So not necessarily a line, but definitely like a surprise for that record was like I kind of always thought that Bottomland was going to be like a tough guy. You know what I mean? I'm a redneck. I'm a camouflage hunting guy. Bury me in Bottomland. And so the fact that it turned out more spiritual is pretty cool.
And you've got a couple like really vulnerable, sweet ones. Another one that on my first listen that stood out to me was Goodbye. Like that one was one where I was like, oh my God,
Thank
so
you.
sweet. Tell me about what inspired that song.
That's funny. I love my wife, and she's so big on experiences and making sure that's way more important to her than anything else when it comes to the pleasures of life. Like, you know what I mean? She would much rather have like a really cool trip or like, something cool than like a diamond or necklace or whatever. It doesn't matter. But, and I've always respected that and loved that about her. Even days when I come home and I'm tired and she wants to go pick out pumpkins or something, but she loves experiences, and that always weighed on me in a really positive way. And I'll never forget. Me and Hunter, my best friend in Nashville, Hunter Phelps. We were striper fishing, striped bass with these big ass, long, cool, aggressive bass that we catch in Nashville sometimes, and we're striper fishing. And he's a great songwriter, and we were throwing out ideas, and I remembered that idea, and I was like, man, what if we wrote a song about just like, like we should do all this stuff because one day we'll say goodbye. And it sounds very, it sounds like something that you would like, that seems very obvious, but I think people sort of lose their sense of their perspective when they're around people they love because they are so familiar with that person, and they take their time with that person for granted, and it's just sort of a reminder to just recognize your mortality because and keep that in the back of your mind because and I know there's a lot of that on this record, but just sort of appreciate that.
Yeah, me too. And then again, like you have this new addition to your family, baby Rosie is here. What is this time in your life been like? Especially like now you guys have this little family, this unit.
It's all there's nothing. Me and Callie don't matter anymore. It's all about her, and I mean that like truthfully. It's just it's so funny that like every decision from like do I have time to go pee to like how many shows should I play next year and everything in between, it all revolves around your baby now, and life is just not about you anymore, and but in the best way. It's great, and she's just such a happy little girl, and like so content and so like just doesn't want for anything. Even she's only 6 months old, but she's just a perfect little baby, and she's finally sleeping through the night again.
Oh,
which is,
good.
Dude,
She's
we're having a really good. It's really we're like very much like to a routine now, which makes it like really fun and a little less stressful than the first few months.
I feel like 6 months is when they start really like developing a personality. Can you already see her personality now?
She just started eating food, like real like baby food, and anyway, it's been great. It's really good.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, and you mentioned playing shows. You're playing MSG tomorrow, which is huge.
Yeah.
How are you feeling for that show?
It's just another show. I mean, and I no disrespect whatsoever, but I have to like. I can't even think about the magnitude or whatever you want to call it of that venue, but I have to tell myself like tomorrow, for example, I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm gonna go to the venue, I'm gonna get on the bus, and I'm gonna treat it like it's a completely normal show day, and I'm not gonna think about it, and it's gonna be what it is. But obviously, it's really special and such a special venue, and it's just weird. There's a lot of me that I can't believe that I'm here, and I'm just very grateful, and yeah, we're just gonna be living a very grateful headspace tomorrow.
And will you be playing any of the new album on that stage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We play a few.
Any of the unreleased
4 or
ones?
5. One. We're gonna do one for the first
really?
time tomorrow. And there's like 7,000 words in the song, so it's gonna be.
Can you tell us which one? Or no?
Nope.
Okay, you know I'd ask.
But it's because it's a. It's a touchy subject, I guess. So it's a tricky situation, I guess, is the right way to put it.
Okay, you have to tell us after this.
Yeah. Well,
can I tell you from the new album to Keep It Country? I feel like that one is built for a stage, like playing that with a live audience.
Cool.
Like, are you already like that was one that I was like, this is gonna be amazing.
No, that's cool. I think you and maybe one other person of all my album review people, like label and everybody, you're like the second person that said that one.
Yeah, like I love that one.
That's really cool.
Are you surprised? You're surprised
Kind
by
of,
that?
yeah.
Really? Why?
Well, because I think it's a very interesting concept. It's just it has like that stadium feel. I know it has a very similar to like Give Heaven Some Hell kind of feel.
Yep.
But I think that's very cool. I think that song is really cool and just I don't know. There's the standout songs and then there's some that you wonder if people are gonna gravitate towards. So that's really cool that you like that one.
The other one I love was Y'all Need Jesus.
Yeah.
Like that just feels like a classic Cardi one. What's your favorite line in that one? And tell me the idea for that one, and then I want to hear your favorite line.
Favorite line. I love I rode Morgan's coattails all the way to the radio. That one's fun.
Can I tell you that's literally what I wrote down
really?
as well? Yeah.
No way.
Like,
We didn't prep
too.
this.
We didn't. But I was like, immediately that grabbed me. Tell me about that line in particular.
God, you see everything. You see all the comments, and that second verse is very like, if you sort of like read into it, it's me. It's like, oh, and I did this, and oh, don't forget I did this. It's very like you're sort of realizing it in the moment, and so that one's like, oh, and damn, I guess I rode Morgan's coattails all the way to the radio, but. Yeah, that was like an actual comment that I saw one time. I was like, damn, bro, like, I wrote all his songs for him, dude. Like, come on, let's...
Yeah, did you and Morgan talk about this? Like, did you talk about the line? Did you talk about the song?
No, I don't even know if he's heard it. I need to send it to
really?
him.
Oh, so you haven't?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you expecting to get a text when this album comes out and he hears that?
I'm sure he'll think it's funny. Knowing him, though, he'll be like, yeah, damn right you did.
Yeah.
But no, that song, wrote that on a writing retreat. A lot of this record was on the same, a writing retreat. But and it was Drew Parker, who is also a country artist, Jesse Joe Dillon, and Zach Oben, the guy that writes for me, and we had been talking about in the kitchen earlier that day how since Quit came out, this is the first time that I kind of had experienced some real like hate. You know what I mean? Like for the first time.
Oh, really?
Like I felt like I just sort of got lucky and just sort of everybody was just kind of down with it, and then like I put a rock record out, man, and people were like, not here for it, and it kind of opened the floodgates a little bit. So that being said,
yeah, did that shake you as an artist? Like, how did that feel for you?
Not as an artist, as a
person.
person. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, as an artist, I at least have enough confidence to know that I have my fans and the people that that love what I do, and that's all I need. That's all that I never really experienced like fear of failure or anything like that. But as a person, man, it's cliche because people are it's like it's hard outside looking in. They're like, oh, Justin Bieber's still a person, and people are like, oh yeah, but he blah blah blah. But it's really is true at the end of the day, But
so how do you navigate that? Like,
write a quirky song about it and kind of subtly make fun of people that are making fun of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the only way. That's my favorite way to do it, at least. But
and do you still like when you'll put this album out? Will you read the comments? Will you get the fan DMs? Like, or is it one of those things that you're going to take a step back after having the last experience?
I typically try to take a step back.
You do, okay.
Yeah, because I, as most human beings, can read 1,000 great comments, but the one, like literally one comment that's the one that you dwell on. And I don't know why we're designed that way, but I feel like most people that's just a thing. So I've learned to, sometimes at 3 a.m. when we're rolling down the road and I've had a few beers, I might clap back at somebody, but I try really hard not to.
Okay, I've told you a few of my favorites. What song on the album are you most proud of? And I know it probably changes every day. Yeah, most proud of. And then tell me just your favorite to like jam out to.
Wow, most proud of and favorite are two completely different answers.
Start with most proud of.
Most proud of is Dog Years.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you about that one.
That song changed my life. I wrote that song in 2013. It got me my first publishing deal. I never ever thought that I would record that song myself. When I wrote that song, I never thought I would sign a record deal and like be an artist. I was just a songwriter. And it survived all these years, and there's just so many very serendipitous moments. You know, I wrote that song about my childhood dog that died when I was 23 years old, and so I wrote that song. That's been 12 years ago now, and he was a yellow lab. And I went down a few weeks ago to shoot some content with the Mossy Oak guys, obviously with Bottomland and all that. And I did a big old content thing on Dog Years, and I played the song, and at my feet sat a yellow lab that looked identical to my dog. And that song came out on Friday, and Friday morning, Neil from Mossy Oak texted me and said that dog passed away. And it's just like the craziest, I mean, just the most like full circle or serendipitous. I was so meant to record that song, and for the longest time I was so frustrated that nobody ever recorded this song, and I was like, why does nobody want the song? And now I understand that it was completely meant to be. So that's the one I'm most proud of.
And
sure.
I feel like the fan response to that song, I mean, I can only imagine what the DMs and messages you're getting for that one.
It's crazy. I've only scanned through a few times, but. Yeah, I mean, it's like this, and I don't mean this lightly, but it's like the dog version of Give Heaven Some Hell, where I'm just getting to see all these crazy stories, where uplifting, sad, or both, you know, and it's well, I have to stop sometimes because I'm like, you know, I can't get too sad in the middle of the day, you know, or whatever it is.
And you're right, it's such a special one, and how crazy to have written it so long ago, and then now it's having this moment.
And it's cool because I like, you know, you grow a lot as a songwriter over the course of 12 years, and I just think it's really cool to hear it like where my young brain, you know, like how I wrote a song back then, because the song kind of had like a resurface, and I hadn't really listened to it in years. But long story short, I'm very proud of my younger self. I wrote it by myself, and that was like really the main reason it got me my first publishing deals. It's like, you know, when a writer writes a song by himself, it's like, okay, this is you know what they do, and they didn't have any help, all that kind of thing. But just proud of my young little 23-year-old self. I wasn't too bad, you know. Being
a songwriter for so many years, what do you think is like the biggest thing that you've noticed in the evolution of your songwriting from when you first started to now? Is it your approach? Is it the concepts you're tackling? Like what for you stands out?
I think that the just craft in the sense of like telling a story without like any holes in the plot. I know that's a very nerdy thing, but I can get super nerdy and like English.
No, our audience loves that. Trust me, our audience is all about this.
Okay, so like learning how to properly tell a story with one verse, a chorus, another verse, and possibly a bridge. But like just the craft, I think. You know, ideas come and go. I've written ideas 10 years ago that I think are way better than ideas that I've written this year. And so that kind of thing, I feel like is just sort of always around. But just the general craft of crafting a very well formatted country song.
Has fatherhood changed the way that you approach creatively? When you just have a new experience, you're like, oh, I have all these new ideas because I didn't even know I had these feelings. Has that been something that's happened for you?
No, and I've been asked this a little bit, and I'm like a perfectionist, so I can't. I don't want to just write a bunch of kids like having daughter songs. The first one has got to count. You know what I mean? And the one that I write for my daughter, I think, is like, it's just got to be important, and she's gonna have that forever. And I have a lot of ideas like written down in my phone, like a ton, but
It hasn't happened yet.
I'm scared. I'm almost scared because I have like a couple that are like, this could be the one, but it's got to be the right person, and I got to be in the right mood because this song, I would just hate to start writing kids songs and a couple of them like just be bad. You know what I mean?
You're like, this can't
or
be
cheesy
for Rosie.
Or whatever it is.
No, I get that
like,
completely.
I never want her to hear that.
I get that completely. Yeah. I also want to talk about how you close with Everybody Does, which I really loved this one. Why did you feel like that was the right one to end on?
Kind of speaking on what we were talking about earlier, mortality is a big theme in this record. Yeah. And, you know, in a world where people. I mean, people can't agree on anything. I think it's just sort of. It's obviously somewhat of a. I don't know if you'd call it a metaphor, but it's basically like, well, fine. If we can't agree on anything, then if I have to write songs that we can all just sort of agree on and have a good time and sing together, then I'll just write a song about the one. Keep writing songs about the one thing that we all undeniably have in common, and that is that we're all going to die. And I just, to be honest, got some negative feedback from. I wouldn't call it negative feedback, more than just comments about how in the past I have songs that I have too many songs about dying, and for lack of a better term, that kind of pissed me off. And so I just, I thought about why I do that, and that's how I feel, and I think that at the end of the day, again, recognizing your mortality should make you a better person, and it should, I think, be something that we all are aware of,
And for this album, was that an intentional theme, or like you said, was it something that just kind of kept coming up?
It's just something that kept coming up. I think a lot of that, I've really thought about this a lot recently, but I think the bus accident a couple years ago really was that was the first time that I was kind of shaken and was like, life is very fragile, and it's the only time in my life I ever pretty much was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna die here. So. And then kind of coming out of that moment is when I started, there's a lot more songs about, writing a lot more songs about that. So I think subconsciously, it definitely wasn't like on purpose by any means, but it's a subject that I'm completely okay with, and there will be more.
It's something that, like you said, it's such a we all can collectively talk about that. Like, that's something that's going to happen for everyone. It's going to impact everyone.
Yeah.
I'm curious, too, for your album, how intentional was the order, the track list, and how easily did that come to you?
It was fairly intentional. I mean, I definitely think it's kind of like making a live set list. I understand also that not everybody listens to a record top to bottom these days. That's actually rare. But for the
do you like when your fans do that? Because I always do when I listen to an album. The first listen,
I always do.
You always
do.
If
somebody drops a record, I listen to it top to bottom. 100%.
And do you like when your fans do that as well?
Of course, because I mean that's I put it in an order specifically to try to pull you this way, then pull you that way, and this and that, and it not seem boring. And that's pretty much it. Just like. It's like putting together a puzzle, you know what I mean? It's like looking at every song title, and it's like, okay, here, and it takes a little bit of time, but that's an important thing, for sure. It's just like it's an experience, and I think I'm old school, and I think the album should be listened to front to back, especially if it's a record, if it's like an album that somebody actually wrote, and it's not just a bunch of cool songs that are just tacked on one project or whatever. But yeah, I'll take a little bit of time for that.
Last question on the album. Like, when you want your fans to, when they hear this album, what are you hoping that they feel or they take away? Like, you mentioned there's themes of, morality or mortality. Like, what other themes are you hoping that they take away or take from?
There's a lot of songs on here that I live in a very just happy to be here headspace, or very thankful. Like Take the Country and Run is kind of like that. Just being thankful for what you got. Luckiest Man Alive. There's a song I can't talk about that's gonna come later.
It's a secret
that's
song.
Also that has that. I don't know, favorite country song even. There's just a lot of
I love that
a lot
one
of
too.
that, and I think that the older I've gotten, and now that the longer I live in Nashville, ironically, now that I have a kid, I'm very proud of where I come from, and I feel like the further away from home I am, the more proud I am to have grown up that way and to be from there, and there's just a lot of that. There's a lot more of that. There's not as much angry sad boy stuff as there was on a rock and maybe even the Crow part of Walking With the Crow. But I'm just living in a little bit different headspace these days, and so I think there's a lot of pride in where I come from moments on this record. A lot of it, really, when I say it out loud, and that's the biggest takeaway from this for sure.
Well, like I said, I feel like we got a lot of sides of you in this album. It felt very personal, even from a listening standpoint.
For sure.
So, love the album. Congratulations, truly. So exciting.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, I thought it'd be fun if we could play a little Rosie Round rapid fire game.
Oh God. Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Rosie Round. Okay.
Okay, Hardy. What is the best part of being a dad so far?
Waking up my daughter every day.
Oh, she's smiling and she's so excited.
She smiles before anybody even goes in the room. She smiles to the like Nanit camera.
She's like ready for the day?
Yeah, it's the best.
Who's Rosie's favorite parent right now?
Mom.
Oh, Mom.
Bye. I'm chopped liver. She literally, Callie can be like 20 feet away and she's just beaming smile. And then I'll be like, what about me? And she just turns and
She's like, no, Mom. Yeah. What's her current obsession? What's her favorite thing right now?
She loves food.
What's her fave?
Right now, it's
Or is this the baby food era, right?
baby
the 6
food.
months is like
Yeah,
baby food.
but her favorite thing right now is she kind of likes it all the same, but butter. Melted butter, because that's apparently
girl, that's a real heart.
It's a real thing. Though.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. Like it's unsalted butter is like as healthy for babies. So they're just building their fat or whatever, and she loves a good spoonful of butter.
Oh my God!
Don't we all though?
Same.
As a Southern boy here.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's her favorite artist to listen to?
John Mayer has a song called Rosie, and that's her like knockout song. If she is throwing the biggest fit of all time,
You
John
put on
Mayer,
Rosie?
Rosie, she's out like a light. Every
What
time.
album is that from?
The one where it's the black and white drawing and it's got the heart on it.
Oh yeah.
It's not Heartbreak Warfare. What is it?
Not the Edge of Desire. Wait, what album is that?
It's also it's forever screwed up any of my playlists, like my streaming
great.
platform.
Yeah,
I'll say playlist is because Rosie is the number one
number
song
one.
because it's good played so many times.
Which fellow country dad gave you the best advice?
So I'll tell you this. It was not, and I have to give him credit because he's a musician. He's not actually a country artist, but I have to say this because it was the best advice I've ever gotten. His name is Alex Wright, and he's a keys player, and he's played on all kinds of country records. But he said, "Man, be patient with your daughter for the first 3 months in the sense of like she doesn't know who you are yet. She doesn't know what you are yet, and give it a few months. Give her time to become a human and to sort of wake up, and don't be frustrated with yourself or like." Don't think that you're a bad parent because you don't necessarily have like these crazy emotions that your wife has towards your kid, because he said this, and I've said it a few times, and then people quote it and I look like an asshole, but he said they're basically like the first few months they're like a sack of potato with eyes. But what he meant by that is like your relationship doesn't really begin until like they know who you are, and she looks up at you and smiles, and so just be patient for that moment.
And you're also getting to know each other, right? Like
Totally.
you don't know each other's personality yet. Like that's a big thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. But that was just be patient and don't don't beat yourself up for for a little bit until that relationship really begins.
You know what? That's so real. And that's why I feel like the 6 month mark is fun because then they
the
really
best.
have a
my
personality,
God, it's the
right?
Best, yeah.
What's harder to pack, your tour suitcase or Rosie's diaper bag?
Diaper bag. My tours. I wear the same stuff all the time. I literally
You're like,
can do it like with my eyes closed. Yeah, diaper
That's
bag.
so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Who changes diapers faster?
Me. Well, because Callie, I know this is supposed to be rapid fire, but Callie loves to talk and kiss her belly and all that. And I'm
You
just
get in there, you're like,
2 legs, bam, bam, bam. Let's go. Let's on to the next thing.
What's Rosie's favorite Hardy song?
All She Left Was Me, actually, is her.
Oh,
that's
really?
The one. It's like an old school deep cut song, but yeah, that's the one that she.
And how'd you discover that?
We had a day like where Callie was just like going through a
really?
bunch of
You
mine,
just
and we'd
played
give her
which
like
one she
15
responded
seconds,
to?
and that was the one that she sort of perked up and like was looking around a little bit.
Wait, that's so cute. What do you think her first word is going to be?
She did it yesterday. It was Dada. I have a
No,
video.
it wasn't.
I have a video. Can I show you?
Yes, please. We have to see this.
Tanner got
Oh, that's so cute. She's so
It's really quiet, but.
She just did it again. Dada. Dada.
Oh, look, she does.
I count it.
See the
I think it counts. It counts.
The little quiet whisper.
Yeah. It was awesome. And Tanner, who's here, he got it on video.
Is that the best feeling in the world?
I mean, it was crazy, but I don't think again she knows what she was doing, but technically I'll have that
you're like,
forever.
no, I
I'll be
have
like,
that, yes.
Yeah, that was the first one.
And who do you think she looks more like right now?
Me.
You do?
I do, yeah. My dad. She looks like my dad, but my dad is also bald, so that's a lot to do.
They're twins.
Yeah. But when she was born, we said Callie all the way, but it's kind of undeniable. Like the Hardy gene in my family, she looks like a Hardy.
And then has she been to a show yet?
Many, but her bedtime is before I go on.
Okay, so she won't be at MSG tomorrow.
She'll be there, but she'll
She
be
will.
asleep. Actually, I'm not sure. She'll either be. We brought Callie's mom, so and she's going to babysit, but she will be asleep. The schedule is very important right now.
Yes.
To
Okay, I feel
make
that,
sure
yes.
that she's just keeping just staying asleep at night.
Hardy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
We
you.
love you. We're so excited for this new album. Congratulations on everything. Guys, can we give it up one more time for Hardy backstage at iHeartRadio Studios. Country out soon on iHeartRadio.